Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session. In today's video, we're going to talk about arithmetic operations, or let's say mathematical operations. And here we are going to learn how to implement them in Python. So I'm going to wait for 1 minute, and then we're going to right away start with our lesson because we're waiting for people to come if they come. So let us wait for a few seconds and then we're going to right away start with the session. Okay. 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 Now let us start. So today we're going to work with arithmetic operations in Python. So let me share my screen first of all. So now you should be able to see my screen. Now this is my screen. You see that I'm opening the Google Colab. It's a very good environment for coding in Python because you don't have to later on when you need to deal with different libraries, you don't necessarily have to install them separately. You can simply include them and they can be simply used as you're doing your code. So Google Colab has all the things that you want. So here is my code. This is how we can initialize two variables. My first variable name is x. My second variable name is y. The x is 20. So the value that is assigned to x is 20. And the value that is assigned to y is 5. So x equals 20 and y equals 5. Now, we would like to perform some mathematical operations using these two variables. In order to do that, first of all, we're going to deal with addition. So in order to do the addition, we are creating a new variable called z, and z equals x plus y. So x plus y means that 20 plus 5, it's 25. We expect to see the output 25, but we are assigning x plus y to the variable z. Then we are having the subtraction here. So x minus y is being calculated and it is being assigned to h, and h equals x minus y. Then we are having a q, which is equal to x multiplied by y. So the output of this is assigned to q, a variable called q. So 20 multiplied by 5, it will be 100, and it is assigned to q. And these parts are after the pound. Anything that we write after the pound is the comment part, and it is not going to be executed, in fact. And it is something that we can write down for ourselves. So it's a note for increasing the readability of our code. So then we are having w equals x divided by y. So 20 divided by 5, it will be 4. But we can remove these parts. These are just the comments for improving the readability of our code, and it doesn't matter if you're going to have them or not. So this is just for the comment. Then we are going to print these variables z, h, q, and y. So let me first print the original variables x and y. In order to print, we write down the print keyword, and the print function is going to help us to print the output. So the original value for x, this part, because it's in the code, it is the statement or the string that is going to be printed in the output, and it is going to be like a message that we are writing here, or a note that we are writing in the output to increase the readability of the code. And I separate it with a comma, and then I write down x. So it means that I'm going to print the variable x using the print function, and this is the message that is going to be printed along with it. So I copy it and paste it here, and instead of x, I write down y. So when I run this code, we are going to see the output. So let me comment these parts first. So when I comment these parts, we see that here we are having the original value for x. So this message is being shown here, the original value for x, and then the value of x, which is 20, we initialize it here, is being printed. Then we are having the original value for y, which is this message here, and number 5 is being printed. So first of all, we can use the print function. First, we write down the message within our codes. Then we separate it by a comma from the second part where we are writing the name of our variables. Now, I would like to print these variables that we calculated, z, h, q, and w. In order to do that, we can have the print function again and write this message. So the sum of x and y, and then we are having the z being printed. So the sum of x and y, the message is shown, and then this variable z25 is being printed because x plus 5, 20 plus 5, it's 25, and we see that it's being printed here in the output. Then we are having the subtraction here. So the subtraction of the x and y, meaning that 20 minus 5, it will be 15, and it is assigned to h. So it is being also here. So when we run the code one more time, we see that the subtraction of x and y is 15. Then the next thing that we want to do is this. So the multiplication of x and y. The multiplication of x and y are assigned to a variable called q, and q is being printed here. So when I run the code, we see that 20 multiplied by 5, it's 100, and 100 is being shown here. The colon is missing, so I run the code one more time. Okay, the multiplication of x and y, it's here. Then finally, we are having the x divided by y, so we are having it here. The division of x and y, and we are printing w because it is assigned to w. So when I run the code, we see number 4 is being printed here. So here so far we learned how to do the addition, how to do the subtraction, how to do the multiplication, and how to do the division. But what else? Another thing that we can do, for example, we can have a variable called r. It is equal to, for example, x to the power of 2. Okay, and we would like to print it here. So when we are writing star star, it means that we would like to raise x to the power of one number. So it can be 2, it can be 3, whatever. This we can choose, but whenever we would like to have the square of a variable, we write down star star and 2. And we are assigning this computation to r. And when we are assigning it to r, then we are printing r here. So when I run this code, we see that x was 20. When it is to the power of 2, the square of 20 is 400. And if I want to raise it to the power of 3, it will be 8,000. So this is something else that we can do. And we can have a new variable, for example, u, and it is going to calculate the remainder of the division of x and y. So x is divided by y. The output was 4. But what is the remainder of this division? The remainder of this division is going to be calculated using the modulo operator. Okay, so x modulo y means that the remainder of the division of x by y is calculated and is assigned to u, then we are printing u here in the output. So when I run, it says 0 because the remainder of x and y is 0. Why? Because 20 is divisible by 5. Okay, so this is another thing that we can do with the mathematical operations here, and we are able here also to calculate the floor function. So for example, when x divided by y, it will be 4. But if we are dealing with a number that is going to have an output of float, so instead of 20, if I have, for example, 23, uh, let's say 27, for example. So 27 divided by y, if it's divided by y, and when we are having the number, so 27, when it is divided by y, the output is 5.4. But when I do the floor division, meaning that we are having slash slash, so double slash, and when I run, we see that the output is 5. It is going to run, it is going to round down the output. So 27 divided by y, it's 5.4. But when we are using the floor division, as we see here, it is going to round down the output. So 5.4 is now rounded down to number 5 here in the output. So this is also how to calculate the floor division in Python. So in this video, we learned how to declare two variables, x and y. We learned how to have the summation of them, the subtraction, multiplication, division, how to raise a number to a power, for example. So x is raised to the power of 2, and how to calculate the remainder of a division, and how to do the floor division by slash slash. Thank you for watching.